And we're live. Hey everybody, welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel on this Sunday evening. Last day of March. Tomorrow is April 1st. I don't know how to mute my video. Let me do that real quick. Amateur! So, most of you have already started your yard sailing and your garage sailing this season. For those of us that live here in Pittsburgh, today was 32 degrees and it was snowing. So we haven't really gone yet or really gotten in the mindset of it. Yesterday was pretty. It was about 60 degrees and it was sunny. It was a nice day. So we did check our yard sale app, but there were like 3 dots and they were 35 minutes in all 3 different directions and just didn't seem worth it. But hopefully things will pick up here as we get more into the spring and warmer weather. Hey, Shelly's here. She made a live show. Yay! Welcome in. Good to see you here. Hi, Joan. Thanks for coming. So anyway, while most of you have probably already been yard selling and you're looking at me like I'm crazy, like, what do you mean you're getting prepared? It snowed today. It was below freezing. It was cold where we live, but we are getting ready. We're getting excited. I have the taste for it. You know how you get that anticipation when spring comes and the weather gets warmer and you know they're just around the corner, or you've already started if you don't live in Iceberg. Hey, Jen, welcome in. Hanger Hut. Hey, welcome in. So, I probably should have done this, earlier before spring hit, but I didn't think about it until yesterday when the weather was really warm and we actually checked on them. I think we live on a different planet here. But I am excited. I am looking forward to it. And we are going through our preparations that we do each year as we're getting into the yard sale season to get ready for it. So that's what I want to share with you tonight. You guys know every live show, I always have a scrap piece of paper or an old envelope and notes. So I got a lot of stuff I want to share with you. I'm going to share with you how we prepare for it, what we should be looking for, how to keep track of what you spend and your mileage, just all kinds of stuff tonight. So thank you, Maria. This is an old shirt from like years ago. Hasn't fallen apart yet. This is like my thrifting or yard selling shirt. Hey Mary, welcome in. Hey Virginia, Heather. So first of all, let's talk about getting ready for the yard sale season. You got to get your house ready and you've got to get your inventory ready first. So if you still have a ton of death piles, you got to get rid of them. You've got to, hi Wendy, you've got to make room for your new inventory that you're going to be bringing in. And if you have been stockpiling over the winter like we do because of where we live, you've got lots of stuff everywhere. So you kind of need to kick your butt in gear and get moving, get motivated, and start clearing those out so that you have room. If you guys yard sale anything like we do, we will come home with a trunk full. Just tons of stuff. It could fill up half of our eBay room every weekend and we spend the week going through it. So you need to make room for that. Not only, for peace of mind and just having storage space. If you still have a ton of those I don't wannas, get rid of them. Because if you haven't dealt with them by now, you don't want to. You're not going to. Make room for stuff that you want to deal with, that you want to list, that you are motivated or excited about doing. So if you still have a ton of I don't wannas, you guys, maybe you have a community yard sale in your own community that you can participate in, and you can go out on the lawn and sell your crap with everyone else. Or you can just go donate it. But if you got a bunch of I don't wannas, get rid of them. If you've got death piles that are money piles that you really want to list, hustle during the week, get it up, get it listed, get it stored away in your inventory system, and make sure that you've got room to bring all of that stuff in. And be willing to let stuff go at this point. You guys know I always tell you if it's laying around, it's not making you money, you might as well list it. But if it's going to continue to lay around, Hey, thank you for the super chat, Red Neckerson's Resells. I appreciate that. Thank you so, so much. Got your little dancing hippo. You got to make room. And you got to make room in your inventory too. And I don't mean to like get rid of stuff. Like, the more you have listed, the more you list, the more you're going to sell. That's true. But if you have really old, stale inventory, and by stale, most of you know that I mean like 6 months or older, especially with used clothing, it's got to be like 6 to 9 months before I would consider it stale. Start running deeper sales maybe make a category for clearance and mark it as low as you're willing to go. Run, buy two, get ones, whatever you can do. Maybe they spend so much, get free shipping if you charge shipping. Maybe they spend so much, they get an extra percentage off. Hey, Justin and Holly, hi guys. And just kind of like get that rolling. 2 reasons. One, you don't want stale inventory dragging your store down. I think I've kind of touched upon this in the past with you guys, but if you have items in your store that are getting traffic, they're getting people looking at them, but there's no conversion, people aren't actually clicking through and buying it. If it's something that has a lot of that stale traffic coming in, Cassini sees that item as undesirable and will push it down in the searches, but it can affect the traffic for your overall store if you have too many of those. So if you have a lot of really stale items that lots of folks are coming in and peeking at, but nobody ever clicks through to send you an offer, offers count as a click through too, because that will boost you in the searches. But if nobody is clicking through to give you an offer or buy it, and you have too many of those sitting around, overall it can drag your store down. Cassini can start seeing too many of your items as undesirable. So you want items in your store that are getting conversions. You want at least offers on them, even if it's low balls. I'll take a $1 offer any day that I can counter with 10% off for the free boost in searches over an item being stale. But if you start running those deep discounts and those really good sales and all your stuff starts flying off the shelf, that's really good activity. You're getting a lot of traffic in your store. You're getting eyeballs in your store. The increased traffic and conversions and the click-throughs tells Cassini, hey, now I have desirable items. Everybody's active in my store. People want what I have, and she'll start pushing you up in the searches. And then as you're adding the really, really good stuff from the yard sales, because let's all face it, 100% things you find at yard sales are going to be better than the majority of what you find at Goodwill, the majority of used clothing you have, and the majority of stuff you find at the beds. Yard sale stuff is gold mine. So when you're putting that in and you've already got all this activity and these sales going on and your store is really active, you're only helping yourself because now you've got the money items coming in, the good stuff, and you've got this momentum built up. So your items are being seen. Let me take a break and look at the chat real quick. Joan still has, I have I Don't Want Us from 3 seasons ago. So don't feel bad. We still have like a whole corner of our storage room upstairs that we lovingly call the serial killer room that has boxes full of stuff. So, I kind of always tell you guys, do as I say and don't do as I do, because I know what we should all be doing and I can teach you guys how to do it. It doesn't mean that I always do it too, because I'm a human and I do everything you guys do. Hey Candace, welcome in. Thanks for showing up. It's good to see you here, girl. Thrifty Christie's working on her death pile. It's okay to have things out of season though, honestly. Today we sourced 3 wool coats. They were 99 cents and they were wool. I wasn't going to pass them up. Will they go like on the bottom? Yeah, I'll list them after I list all the more desirable items or in season, but I still won't like hold on to them till the fall. Dab Kitty has multiple sales going on. Started posting some of the free jewelry. Make sure you're putting your jewelry on like Etsy and Poshmark too. I hear it does really, really well there. Red Neckerson's nieces are at the sisters near 9 and 12 and having a yard sale. Awesome. That is so cool, especially since you're getting your kids involved. I love it. Love it. Love it. Shelly is putting major focus on getting stale crap out of here. Deep discounts, auctions. That's a good thing to be doing. Most of you already know, we created a category in our store called Clearance Hut, because we're the Hippo Hut. And everything's 99 cents with $7.50 to $8.50 shipping, depending on how heavy the item is. And it's like buy 2, get 1 free, because honestly, even the lower ones, that $7.50 plus 99 cents is basically $8.50, right? if they buy 2, that's $17 and they get 1 for free. It's 3 items for $17, but it's crap we don't want. We shouldn't have sourced, old photos, whatever. Gets it out the door, and it's more activity because you've sold 3 items. So that's one of the things we're doing. It's all first class items though. Like any denim I really want to get rid of, and jeans, I mark them down to like the lowest is like $9 with 8 shipping, and they're, I believe, buy one get one 25% off, and they have their own category called denim deals. But that's another idea. You can actually create categories in your store where you're putting these items that you're trying to get rid of, and when you create those rules on the back end for your sales, you can tell that to only grab from specific store categories. I don't know if you guys knew that. You probably did. But if you create a category called It's All Gotta Go, you want to create some kind of a buy X amount and get X amount, or buy one get one, on the back end, you can tell it to only grab from that category. And you can tell it to grab new inventory as it's added. So we're all good till canceled. I was just about to say, as your 30-day listings end and you go to the unsolds. But as you're going through the back end and you see stale stuff, if you change the category and move it over there and relist it, it will get added to the sale. Snow, poop. I can't believe, but see, I don't know. If you know anybody from Pennsylvania, whether you're from my side of the state or like Holly's side of the state, we always around here say, if you don't like the weather, wait a minute. Because yesterday it was like 60 degrees, and me and Keith's sister walked up to the river in t-shirts and fed ducks. And then today it was freezing cold and snowing. So, resell into recovery. Lance is in the house. Welcome in. Tiffany, I don't know a lot about vintage pins, but if anybody can help her out, shout out in the chat or hit her up in the group, in our Facebook group, and help her out. Aw, Candace, you are so sweet. That's really sweet. Vintage leather hip, those would be really cute. Thanks for the congrats. What brand skirt was that, Virginia? I'd be curious to know, because selling it in an hour is pretty amazing. I'd like to know what brand that was, if you want to share. If it's a secret that you don't want to share and have everybody run out and buy that brand, that's okay too. Fader Faded needs a yard sale buddy in Vegas. I think that Kate and Vicky have, don't they have a meetup group for resellers out there? I feel like they do. Dan lives near me. Yeah, you can send me the pic on Facebook. So, okay, so there's, I always get off topic, but that's why I like live shows. I like interacting with you guys more than reading my outlines. Okay, so when you go to yard sale, so you're getting rid of your stale stuff, you've cleaned out your house, you've got room, now you need to plan. So let's talk about planning. Most of you should already know by now that I am openly admitting that I have obsessive compulsive disorder diagnosed. I have to follow strict routines and to-dos in my life to feel okay. And that's okay if you're that way. It's okay if you're not that way. If you're somebody that lives spontaneously from moment to moment and you thrive that way, or you thrive on chaos, do it. Whatever you gotta do to thrive and survive and be the best you can be, whether it's to live by the seat of your pants or plan every second of every day and your bullet journal, whatever it is, do it, because you gotta do you. I like routine. I like plans. I like lists. So I will share with you how we plan. Keith really likes to be organized as well, especially when it involves driving. When you're out driving around for yard sales, you want to make sure you plan a good route, not only to save your time, but you're using your car. Even though you're getting a tax break for the mileage that I hope you guys are all recording to report, that still doesn't help you right now. If you drive, your tires bald, or you use a lot of gas, or you use up all your oil, or whatever in your car during the summer, you've got to spend the money to replace that now. You don't get your mileage credit until next year. So we like to I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat. I have been saying, Lisa, that I'm going to make a photo on listing jeans since January of 2018. See, I am so human. I do these things that I just procrastinate. What had happened? Y'all, did you ever watch Fresh Prince when he would get in trouble? What had happened? We moved our eBay room like twice last year. We rearranged the house and things kept coming up. I can't do the jeans video on my own. I will need Keith to film it for me because in order for me to show you properly the exact A to Z of how I list jeans from the moment they come in the house, what I do with them to prep them, measure them, photograph them, and list them, I need someone else to film, from over there or above here, because I really want to show you exactly how I do it because I have a complete setup for someone who has a bad back. But you could use my system even if you had any other disability or health issues that made it hard for you to stand for long periods of time or pinned over. It's really good for people who need to sit a lot. So I need Keith to help me, and I feel like every time we plan a weekend where we're going to film it or he has extra time off from his job outside the house, something always comes up. But I will be doing it. I've been saying that forever, but I need to do it. I need to because there's too many of you out there that are like me that do this because you have health issues or disability. And I think you would really benefit from seeing my setup. I've kind of showed you bits and pieces of it here and there, like the idea of the rolly chairs and having someone able-bodied load them up for you so you can push them around the room and stuff. Anyway, I digress. I will get to the jeans video. Next week, we really are going to try to hit our first yard sales of the season. And Shazam and Pet Sematary drop in the theaters. We have to kind of like rock, paper, scissors to see if we're going to go see the comic book movie or the horror movie first. Then the following week, we'll see that one. But I'll get around to it. West Virginia. That's not too far. That's next door. Tiffany, if you saw my to-do list, I think I've showed them on here before. I actually have little boxes for my water. So this is 16 ounces. I have 4 boxes I have to check each time I drink a water. I have like the first check box says wake up. Then it says take your meds. I mean, I'm really specific in my list, so I completely understand that. So back to yard sales. You want to plan your route. So what you need is the yard sale app. Does everybody have the yard sale app? Hey, welcome in here. I'm having a moment here. I want to show you guys the yard sale app. But did you guys know I updated my phone? I hope you guys knew that. And you understand why I'm having a hard time. But anyway, welcome in, Courtney. Thank you for showing up. I see you. Donatella's here. Super chat from Lance, $5. Thank you so much. He says, party time. Hit that like button. And there's his dancing hippo. So, yeah, we upgraded to the 10. And some of my stuff didn't move over. And I had to go to the store and get it. I did get this one. I thought this would be one that I would make sure I had. So it is called the Yard Sale Treasure Map, and you can get it for Apple or Android. And what it does is it shows you your area. And you guys see those red dots? Those are yard sales, estate sales, church sales, garage sales, things like that in our area. This app allegedly pulls from Craigslist, newspaper classifieds. I don't know if it pulls from Facebook Marketplace yet, but it allegedly pulls from any place where people will post their notices for yard sales, estate sales, church sales. Flea markets sometimes show up on here. Anything like that has a classified ad anywhere. The app pulls it up. You pull it up, and you can see all the little red dots in your area, and you can plan your route. We will sit down 10 minutes at the most on a Friday night and pick, which ones sound good. When you touch the dot, I guess I should show you that too for those of you that don't have it. Yard sale treasure maps. It's a mouthful. But when you click the dot, it tells you the address, and then you can click it for more information. You see it? So it's like basically the Craigslist ad. It tells you about the yard sale. They have pictures in there that you can look through their stuff, and then some information in a paragraph. So, hey, Grand Larceny, welcome in. Grand Larceny has that app. Most people have this by now. I know Casey, the Rockstar Flipper's been talking about it for a couple of years. I promoted it last summer. It's an amazing app because, like I said, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most, Keith and I will sit down and plan our route. And you can map from it, right from it too. So if you click the red dot and you go to the place and you scroll down, you can actually pull, with a click right there, pull up your Google map and it will direct you to that particular sale. So you can plan your route so that you're not, ooh, my phone is really shiny. I'm so sorry, guys. I probably blinded you with my shiny new S10. But yeah, you can plan your route so that you're leaving your house and you're going up this way and then back down this way or wherever you want to end up. And you're not like backtracking or wasting time or wasting gas. But you're also, you're seeing a lot more on that app than you would any other way. You're going to see all the sales in your area. Yes, there is an estate sale email list that will email you local estate sales. It's really simple. I should know it. It's like estate. Donatella, are you in here? I know you know it. It's like estatesales.net. It's really super easy email to remember. And you can sign up for it and tell them where you live and they'll give you notifications too. So, Courtney found a really good sale. That's awesome. Yeah, you can also optimize your route through the app as well. There's other features. There's a paid version of it. You can get extra features. Last summer, hi Trina, welcome in. Thank you. Is it estatesales.net, Donatella? Am I right? Last summer, Keith tried the paid. They gave him like a 1 month trial. And Storage Treasures is where you find storage units. He tried, it was like a month or maybe a couple weeks, but he tried the free trial for the paid version, and we decided it really wasn't worth it to start paying for what we got from it. We utilized it while we had it for free, but it was kind of like, we're okay with the free version. Hey Roger, welcome in. Thanks for joining us tonight. So here's another thing we do to plan, just to be thrifty, because if you guys are going to go out Friday, Saturday, Sunday to estate sales, yard sales, or even just Saturday and Sunday, if you don't think ahead about food and drinks, you could end up spending a ton of money because it's super easy. You're like, well, we're out here and we're hungry. Let's go through the drive-thru. Let's stop here and get a sandwich. And that adds up. And, even if you have the money to eat out every day of the week, I don't recommend it. Keith and I are huge fans of Dave Ramsey. For those of you that don't know him, after the show, Google Dave Ramsey. You will thank me. He is all about budgeting your money, never being in debt, and kind of like living on a shoestring budget even when you have a lot of money, because that's how rich people get richer. So we try to not eat out every day of the week. We try not to eat out more than once a week on date night, but so, if you're out and about and you're thirsty or you're hungry, it's so easy to stop. So what we do is every Friday night during yard sale season, we go in together as a team. It's a fun thing. And we make sandwiches and we pack this little cooler that we have with ice packs, and we freeze bottles of water, like halfway, and use those in there as ice. And then as they melt in the heat, we can drink them. We pack extra water. We have one of those, now we do, those metal twisty toppy things. We got on the eBay open. But yeah, we pack extra waters, a soda if you want it. You can make iced coffee to take with you, sandwiches. We pack pretzels, chips, snacks, whatever. And we pack like we're going to be out for the whole day. And then we have all of our drinks and snacks with us. And while we're in the car, we can eat and drink and then not have to worry about spending a ton of money on food. Because if you sat down and actually added up how much it would cost you to eat out 2 or 3 times every weekend, you would be surprised. And then think, well, shoot, I could have gone eBay Open. I could have done a whole bunch with that money. It's a lot of money. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for putting it in there. I knew it was estateSales.net, but I questioned myself. But anyway, thank you for sharing it. Grand Larceny went to the Goodwill bins today. Starbucks is very expensive, and that is why I have learned how to make iced coffee at home. I have a couple of hacks for that. I'll tell you guys someday. I don't want to digress anymore. Ordering Pizza Hut. But Pizza Hut has those big $20 family boxes, you know? So we pack lunches, we pack drinks, we plan our route. Don't forget to take your receipt books with you guys. You should have receipt books because you can write them out yourself and they're pretty accepted at tax time if you're audited. I wish I would have brought one over here because it's so far away. I have like a pack on my desk. I keep one book in my purse and one book in the glove compartment. So I always have some. You can get them at Walmart, really super cheap. You can get them at Dollar Tree even. I think Sydney told me she gets hers at Dollar Tree. And you really don't have to be that specific. You can write. I have a pen like I'm writing. You can put yard sale on Main Street, March 31st. 5 items, $10. Church sale at St. Joseph's on 5th Street, 20 items, $20. Just kind of put what kind of sale it was, the street name. You don't have to have the exact addresses. If you go to like a community sale, you can just put the community name. You don't have to put every house. So say you go to a community sale and there's 40 houses. You could just put Pittsburgh Community Yard Sale, 50 items, $100. You don't have to put each house. But you want to make sure you're keeping track of it because those are your costs of goods, guys, and you need to be reporting it at tax time if you want to break on your taxes. If you want to report all the profits you make and never take a break for your cost of goods, go for it. But I don't recommend it. So make sure you're taking your receipt books with you. Keep some kind of system for your mileage. If you use GoDaddy Bookkeeping for your bookkeeping and taxes, they have an app on the phone that you can input your mileage into. I believe QuickBooks has one too, but I can't be sure. We use GoDaddy. If you're old school, go to Walmart, spend 77 cents on a little tiny memo notebook, put a pen in the spiral at the top, keep it in your glove box, write your mileage down. But take those tax breaks where you can get them. Don't say the A word. I don't know what the A word is, Lance. Yeah, Tiffany, I'll probably actually do like a cooking video for the iced coffee. I don't know. Like I have that Hungry Hippo series and I do cooking videos. Coffee takes like 5 minutes. But there's a couple different ways to do it. And I've been experimenting with it. I do have a Keurig, but I don't know. I could drink 10 iced coffees a day if I let myself. I try not to. I try to drink my water. I'm down to like 3 or 4 iced coffees a day, and that still sounds like a lot. But think if I was buying them, that'd be $20 a day on coffee. And in reality, if you count out what I'm using out of our coffee that we buy and our creamers and stuff, I'm probably spending like 10 cents a coffee, maybe a quarter. So it is a good thing to do it at home. I like to save money. Like I said, we buy into the Dave Ramsey way of thinking. And we try to save money everywhere we can so that we have more money for all of the stuff we really want to do and like to do. And we like to have nest eggs because Dave Ramsey really talks a lot about nest eggs and saving up, 6 months to a year of your bills and expenditures in a nest egg. Oh, that A word. I'm not afraid of that word. I mean, quite honestly, if it ever happened, it'd be a big, fat pain in the But if you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, which you should be, you'd be fine. Yeah, there's nothing to worry about if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you should never, ever, 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 ever lie to the IRS or cheat your taxes in any kind of way. They will come down on you for that. In fact, we were just talking about this yesterday with Keith's sister. There's like Al Capone is a good example, but there's been a lot of criminals and even serial killers that got caught because they cheated on their taxes in some way, or they evaded or cheated on them, and they would have absolutely gotten away with all of their other crimes, never been caught, but when they got caught for taxes, and then all their other crimes came out. So that's a lesson. Don't cheat on your taxes, they'll find you. So, okay, let's keep going. Let's talk. I did mention keep your receipts and your mileage. Planning your route. Make sure you end it not so far away from home. Work your way back, towards home or wherever you want to end up. If you want to thrift or go to the Benz, kind of like work your way that way. Because you can start yard selling at like 8 in the morning and be done by noon and be at the Benz at noon and go into the Benz for a couple hours, or end up at Plato's Closet at noon, or wherever you want to go next. I do absolutely recommend looking for the community and the neighborhood sales. They're way more worth your time. If you're driving all over Tar Nation to the one-offs and you're not finding anything, it can be a little discouraging. You're wasting your time, your money. But if you find those neighborhood sales where you could park and just walk the streets and buy stuff, those are fun. Church sales are really fun too, and estate sales. Let me catch up on the comments, because then we're going to talk about what to look for at the yard sales. I would still be spending about $4 to $5 a day on coffee, even if it was 99 cents. And then you have to leave your house too. So if I was cutting into my work day 4 or 5 times a day to go down to the corner to buy a coffee, the time wasted would be money too wasted. You know what I mean? Like, it takes me 2 minutes to go in my kitchen and grab one and get back to listing. Plus, I can make it however strong I want, or however weak, whatever. Yes, Max. I love that. So you're on your way to a yard sale that you found on the treasure map, and there's one that wasn't on the treasure map, but you see a sign and it ends up being a really great sale. Those are the fun ones. So yeah, that's a good point, Max. Thank you. Keep your eyeballs peeled while you're driving, because not everybody ends up on the yard sale app. So keep your eyeballs peeled. Look for signs for the sales and stuff. But the neighborhood and the community sales are amazing. We have some around here that are so big. You literally have to move your car 3 or 4 times to see the whole neighborhood. And that's always where we find like the best stuff. I mean, sometimes, we were just talking about this today, sometimes you'll get there and you'll recognize people from last year, and they'll still have the same overpriced Xbox from last year, and it's still overpriced. But there's always new people joining in and new items. And you park and you can walk, It's good exercise for you too. But you're hitting way more houses and getting lots more stuff. So let's talk about what... I have to yawn. I am so sorry, guys. It is not you. I'm just very tired. Tiffany's right. Sometimes the ones that aren't advertised off the beaten track, nobody else has been there all day, and they might have some really good stuff. For instance, one of those that we stumbled upon, we took a wrong turn and we were trying to find our way back to where Google Maps said we should be, and there was just this random yard sale on the side of the road, and we got an iPod there for like $2 that sold for like 75 or something. So yeah, those ones are really good. Fishing reels. Yeah, Keith's dad's really into fishing, and he's always telling us that lures and rods are worth money. And whenever we see them at yard sales, we're so, we We don't know what we're doing. We should bring his dad with us, right? So he could help us pick them out. So if you know fishing reels or lures, or he says Como fishing reels are good. Nerf guns. Nerf guns. I could sing the praises to the skies about Nerf guns. You guys, you can sell broken Nerf guns. They are like phones. They could be a total piece of crap. Sorry, I couldn't think of a better word. Poop. And they could be broken, and you can sell them for parts. Nerf guns are amazing. What we do, we buy them by the buckets. People have them out in bins, and we'll just be like, they'll have a bin full of, and they're all priced individually, but there's 10 in there. We'll just be like, we'll give you $10 for all of them, or 15 or whatever. And we bring them home, the ones that work, and yes, we do test them out. And yes, it is really super fun to test out Nerf guns. Keith and I run around the house shooting each other. It's really fun. We get the kids involved and everything. But the ones that work, we sell on eBay, absolutely. The ones that are broken, we save them up. Once we have a big old box full, we'll sell them locally. People build their Nerf guns, or they augment them, or whatever you call alter them. There's a whole community of people out there that break apart and rebuild Nerf guns and need parts all the time. Nerf guns really aren't a pain to ship. Not for the kind of money they give you. The ones that weigh a lot, you can offer them like that cheaper shipping. What is it? Ground parcel. You have to Frankenbox a lot of them, but they're worth it. And then the ones that are broken, like I said, we just save aside until we have a giant box full, and we'll sell them local. Someone buys the whole box for like $50. We meet them up at the water in public at like the police station, thank you, or a shopping center, and we'll grab a coffee while we're out or whatever. So it's a win-win. So even if we buy like a box full from a yard sale and some don't work, that's okay, because you can sell them broken. I wouldn't sell the broken ones on eBay. I don't think that's worth paying the shipping for and everything. But you can do those locally. And then the bigger ones, they kind of are a pain in the butt. Like, you have to Frankenbox them for sure. But that brings me to my next BOLO for yard sales. Rock band guitars, y'all. We don't do the pods. I'm sorry, now I'm going to catch up on the chat real quick. We don't do the pods. We have a little thing that you fill with your own coffee. And that saves you even more money. Okay, so rock band guitars. Not so much Guitar Hero, but those can be worth money too. But the guitars are good money. And people are forever setting them out at yard sales for $1 or $5 a piece. Some of them go for $85 plus shipping. The really good ones. We've sold those broken for parts as well. So whenever we see them, if they have 10 of them and they're all $5, we'll try to talk them down, some kind of a deal, so we'll buy all of them. But those guitars are money. They go for a lot, and they go fast. You can't keep them in your store. As fast as you're finding them, they're flying out the door. Those you probably want to offer like the FedEx or the cheaper shipping one, because you do have to Frankenbox them. Some of them weigh up to like 5 pounds. But hey, Linda, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Thrifty Christy, that's funny. Well, Maria, you better start listing them, because they are money. You just got to be willing to take the time to Frankenbox them. Some of them break down, like the handle. Not that you're breaking them. Some of them are meant to come apart, and you can take them apart. Some don't. But yeah, anytime, like if we're driving down the road and we see rock band guitars in a yard sale, we are stopping for those. You also want to look for video games, video game consoles. Just be careful about how much you're paying for them, because people at yard sales typically are honest, but you could pay for something and get it home and it doesn't work. And if you spent too much on it, That's kind of a bummer. I just always kind of recommend to people, before you go looking for video games or consoles, kind of have a look around eBay, see what is selling, how much it's selling for, what's popular, so you know what kind of games you're looking for. And then if you have it in your head how much you can flip it for, then you know how much you'd be willing to pay for it, and you can kind of try to talk people down. But just, be wary of that. Don't overpay because you're excited that you found it. Because if you get it home and you test it and it doesn't work, you could probably still sell it for parts or repair, but it's not going to be anywhere near what you thought it was going to be. Mary Kay lipstick that's discontinued. Yeah, you know what? There's actually a CoverGirl cream silver eyeshadow I used to use, and they discontinued it, and I have found that at yard sales. Now I keep it for myself. I think it goes, I can't remember. I looked it up on eBay last summer just to kind of see, and it was pretty good money, but I'm like, no, I want it, it's mine. But yeah, don't forget to look for makeup and stuff too. And when you're at estate sales, check them bathrooms, because the makeup, the vintage perfumes, the things like that you're going to find in the bathrooms, those can be worth a lot of money. Cameras, especially older Polaroid cameras. If you're going to be paying a pretty good penny for them at a yard sale, try to talk them down. Maybe ask them if you have a minute to think about it and sneak away and comp it. I wouldn't comp it right in front of them in their front yard, but there's been times where we've walked away, sat in the car for a minute, like we were talking about it, and we comped it, and we went back and got it. The best Polaroid we ever found sold for almost $400 to a gentleman in New York that owned a photography studio. And then there's other ones that were like, man, I wouldn't even pay $2 for that. So you just, either drive away or tell them you change your mind. And then, of course, other electronics. You want to look for iPods, stereos, VCR, DVD combos, any kind of vintage stuff as far as stereos and stuff like that. You want to be looking for action figures. Wrestling figures are really, really big. Just kind of, before you go, have a look at eBay, see what's selling. Some of the wrestlers are worth a lot of money, some aren't. If you know wrestling, like Lance and Justin do, then you're good. But if you don't, just kind of have a look before you go. It doesn't hurt to go on Facebook. It doesn't hurt to go on eBay every once in a while and take a look at what's selling anyway, and just kind of get an idea of what you should be looking for. I feel like in the winter when there's no yard sales, unless you live in a state where you have them year-round, and lucky you, but I feel like we get in a rut, because in the winter we're just going to Goodwill, we're getting 99-cent clothing every week, and we just kind of get lazy about checking out the BOLOs and looking at the back end of eBay and seeing what's selling, because we got this tunnel vision. I know what brands I want, I know what jeans I want to sell, I know what plush I'm looking for. So just kind of get into that again, looking at eBay, seeing what's selling. Look for plush. You guys, yeah, that's a good point, Tiffany. You cannot ship liquids air. They have to go ground. So they either have to be under a pound first class, or they have to go parcel. But I do not believe they don't have to go parcel if they weigh under a pound and they go first class and you declare there's liquid. They just can't go in the air. They can't fly. They have to be ground. Plush. You guys can get really good deals. Those of you that are long-time viewers on this channel may remember last summer when I came home with 70 Winnie the Pooh plushes, all the different characters, and the huge boxes of just plush that I just basically bought out the whole yard sale. I did that a couple times last summer. But yeah, if you're driving by and you see somebody that's got a blanket out with tons of plush on it, and you can see it's all Winnie the Pooh or Disney or popular characters of movies that are popular right now or whatever. I act like I'm looking out the window to see. If you see it, go, because you can get deals. One lady had her entire Tigger collection out, and she had them individually priced pretty high. And I just was like, well, I want to buy all 3 tables. I want to buy all your Tiggers. What can I buy all of them for? And she gave me a really good deal. She threw in some stuff for free. So don't be afraid to, if you see a ton of it, just approach them and be like, I want to buy all 100 stuffed animals on your lawn. Can you give me a deal? You can get a lot of plush that way. Really good plush too. Like, people I don't think know what they have all the time, or they just want rid of it. I'm pretty sure that that's true, Tiffany. I'm pretty sure, but don't 100%. Like, don't come back if I'm wrong and yell at me. I have never sent liquids in the mail or perfume. I have a friend who does, and from what I recall her telling me, it cannot go in the air. It has to go ground. And priority mail over a pound is what goes in the air. Ground is always, or first class is always ground. I'm like 90% sure that's what I remember her telling me, but I haven't done it, so. So yeah, that goes for everything and not just plush. If you see that somebody has a lot of anything, don't be afraid to tell them you want it all and get a deal. Vintage toys, vintage games, old Fisher Price toys, like those pull toys. We had a dog. We had a couple of those old phones that you pull. Anything that's vintage. Pound puppies, well, that's back to plush, but like the old Barbie dolls, the old Strawberry Shortcake characters, anything like that, you want to be keeping your eyes out for. And then one other thing I wanted to mention. I know a lot of people like to be the first one at the yard sale and do the early bird thing, but don't forget about end of day. Don't forget about the end of day. If you get to a yard sale at the very end of the day, chances are whatever's left, those people have to pack up and drag back into their house. And the whole reason they had the yard sale or the garage sale in the first place is because they wanted to get rid of the stuff, right? So they're now faced with, I didn't want any of this. I wanted to get rid of it. And now I got to pack it all up and drag it back in. So don't be afraid as it's getting to the end of the day to keep hitting those yard sales, because you can do that. I want it all. I'll take it all off your hands, and they'll be so relieved that they don't have to take it back inside. You can get really good deals that way. And in fact, you can actually, if you have a truck or the means to do it, you can put out ads on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and advertise that you haul junk away after a yard sale for free. So then you're not paying them for their stuff. They think they're getting a free service, because technically if someone comes and hauls your junk away, you're supposed to pay them. So if you advertise that you haul junk away after an estate sale or a yard sale or both, for free, they'll call you. You can go get all their stuff when they're done, and you can go through it and see what you can resell, and you just got some free inventory. Of course, that can be risky. You can end up with a bunch of furniture, stuff you don't want, or a bunch of crap. It's about as risky as storage units, I guess, because you're going blindly to these people's yards and taking what's left. But that is a way to get a ton of stuff for free. People think, oh, they're going to come haul my stuff for free. They're not going to try to sell it to you. You just get it. American Girl dolls are hit or miss. And unfortunately around here, any that I have found, they really don't want to part with them for less than what they think they sell for on eBay. I have come in to, hey Bella, welcome in. Thank you for showing up. And David's probably with you, so hi David. American Girl dolls that I have found around here were very high price tags. And some of them even had the novice eBay printouts taped to them. And I say novice because most people who are having yard sales don't know how to properly comp an item. You guys know that we look at the solds and find the average price. People at a yard sale are just going to go to what's listed high to low, pick the highest one, get excited, print that out, tape it to their item because they think they can get that for it just because it was listed on eBay, because they don't understand how that works. But yeah, every American Girl doll I've ever seen was so expensive. And I would be like looking at it and I'd see the price tag and I must make a face because a lot of times the people will come over to me and be like, well, you know that this is the special edition tra la 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 la, whatever it is, and it goes on eBay, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested anymore. But I did look them up on eBay out of curiosity, and I think they're just kind of hit or miss which one you get. So that, I think, is everything I wanted to talk about with you guys. So if you have any questions at all about reselling in general, about this video or whatever, throw them in the comments and I'll try to get as many as I can before I take off. I did want to mention that Courtney, you guys see her in the chat as BOLO Buddies. Courtney, she's in our Facebook group. I'm in all her groups. She featured Keith and I on a YouTube video, which is not linked down below. I will get that linked once this video is up for replay, once it goes onto the channel. I meant to link it before and I forgot. Sorry. But if you're a member of our Facebook group, it is linked in there. And after the show, like I said, I'll link it in the description box down below. But Courtney did feature us on her YouTube. And if you guys go watch that, go ahead and subscribe to her whole channel. She has a lot of really good sellers on there. She did one on Vicky, of Katie and Vicky. She did Casey once. But her videos focus on looking at what other sellers are selling and what are BOLOs. And that's an invaluable lesson for all of us. We could all be learning from each other, looking at what other sellers are selling and how much they're selling it for and what they're selling, what they're finding. That's really good information. Just like I was saying earlier about how Keith and I in the winter get lax because we're just tunnel visioned on our clothes. We forget to look through eBay, because looking through eBay to see what's going on is important. You guys could just subscribe to Courtney's channel and watch all of her videos and let her tell you the BOLOs. She also has 2 Facebook groups, which I'll also link in the comments or in the description box once this goes back for replay and once it's uploaded on the channel. I'll link both of her Facebook groups. They're both dedicated to talking about and looking at BOLOs. And as we're getting into this season where we're all kind of coming outside of the stores, the thrift stores, the bins, and we're all going outside and going all over the place, it is a good time to start looking at BOLOs at eBay, see what other people are selling. I kind of feel like you find better stuff at yard sales than you do in thrift stores. I don't know why you do, but you do. I feel like there's a ton of stuff at yard sales that you just will never see in a thrift store. And of course, they're priced lower. Everyone's priced lower than the Goodwill these days. And then you have the freedom to negotiate, right? You can't walk into Goodwill and I want all the plush in the bin and expect them to give you a deal. But you can do that at yard sales. You can talk people down. You can negotiate. You find a lot of really great hard goods at yard sales instead of just used clothing. But I would look at the clothes too and the shoes because, people do weird things at yard sales. I've gotten Free People and Miss Me for like $1 at yard sales. I've gotten UGG boots for 50 cents. So don't be afraid to look at that stuff too. And some yard sales will tell you if you get a bag, you can put as much as you can stuff in the bag for like $1 or $2. So I just don't focus on the clothing because I can get that anywhere. A peek, obviously I'm not going to pass up Robert Graham or Eileen Fisher or, Silver Jeans or whatever, but I like to focus on the hard goods. I feel like you find really good stuff there that you're never going to see anywhere else. And the same goes with estate sales and church sales too. And church sales are cool because they usually take donations from a whole neighborhood. So it's almost like a community neighborhood yard sale, but all in one church. You got the whole neighborhood stuff all there. Just tons of different things. And the ones that we've been to out here, there's like 3 or 4 churches that do them every summer. Real big ones that we like. They're so organized. We love them. And yours are probably the same, maybe. I don't know. I don't have any experience outside of Pittsburgh with church sales. But they'll have one room that's just toys, one room that's just electronics. Then they have like the high dollar room, the boutique. They have everything so organized and neat. It's so easy to just go in and find what you're looking for or look at what you want to find. thank you, Lance, for throwing that link up there. I appreciate it. Courtney, you rock for featuring us. She did a really good job in the video of showing a really nice highlight reel of a lot of our items that are BOLOs, and we just sold something on Poshmark. And she showed a lot of our plush, which was really cool because many of you that have been around for a while know that I am the plushie queen. I haven't worn my crown in a while, have I? I did source a lot of plush this weekend, so maybe when I do my plush haul, I'll put my crown back on and reclaim my plushie queen throne. Speaking of that, I did not see Robert, aka Zombie Seller, in here tonight, the other plush royalty. I want to see what I sold. Excuse me. We're selling leather jackets right now. A lot of them. Anyone else? Yeah, Courtney just did a whole video on plush, which I will probably play in the background tomorrow while I list. I watch all my YouTube while I work, or else I would just sit around and watch YouTube all day. But the leather coat thing, I have a theory about it because it happened last spring too. I think when spring rolls around and it's getting nicer weather, I think more people are out riding their motorcycles and they're buying leather coats to wear on the motorcycles, whether it's for fashion or protection. But I feel like we see this increase every March. That was the second one this week on Poshmark. So, I'm playing with my hair. I really want to I want to put a ponytail in so bad. I just take my makeup off. I gotta do shipping. And there's a good bit. We're okay. Not a great weekend, but an okay weekend. Workout stuff and shoes. I always see an increase of workout stuff at the end of December and beginning of January when everybody's doing the new year, new me. I'm going to exercise for one whole week. I'm guilty too. So I guess that's everything I wanted to touch upon with you guys this week. Don't forget, absolutely, I need to repeat this. All right, Shelly, enjoy your dinner. I'll see you tomorrow. I want to repeat that you need to get the receipt books. Take them with you. You want all the write-offs you can get. When this goes up, I will put in Courtney's YouTube link and her groups in the description box. They're also in our Facebook group, which is also in the description box. Excuse me. My throat gets so dry. So join our Facebook group. If you haven't joined already, we have a ton of fun in there. We talk a lot of reselling. We learn a lot from each other, but we also just kind of chill and have fun and post stuff that's kind of a break from reselling sometimes and just to have fun and laugh. But everyone's really nice in there. It's a really good, positive atmosphere. Bye, Bill and Dave. I love you guys. Tiffany, thank you so much. That's nice of you to say. Yeah, you can write off super chats as training if you're paying, if your super chats are going to a YouTuber who's teaching reselling. Absolutely. So join the Facebook group if you haven't, you guys. Smash the like button if you would before you leave. It does help the channel. If you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to the channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're at Flippin Hippos across all social media. Thank you so much, guys, for all of the nice comments about the group. I really love our group. I think it's a great group. I think it's a very positive atmosphere. I think we have a lot of fun. I think we learn a lot. But yeah, so like us, subscribe to us, find us on social media. You guys go be productive for the rest of the night, or take the night off if that's what you're doing too, and then be productive tomorrow. But get some work done, be productive, get rid of those stress piles and those I don't want piles. That's so important for peace of mind. And if we're all going to be sourcing more, we need to make the room. And until I see you next time, guys, may the cha-chings be ever in your favor. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so, so much for hanging out with me tonight, guys. I appreciate it.